KPRC2 is committed to sharing the voices of Houston. On the campus of Texas Southern University, there is a professor who has worked to fight for change for several decades. He continues to make an impact on the world and community we live in. KPRC2's Rochelle Turner introduces us to the father of environmental justice.
Dr. Robert Bullard is a distinguished professor of urban development and environmental policy at Texas Southern University. His goal is to make sure everyone has the right to live, work, and play in a safe environment. That's Dr. Robert Bullard.
I work with communities on the ground fighting all kinds of environmental issues and health issues.
His passion for environmental justice started back in 1978 after he found out that the black communities were the dumping grounds for Houston.
This is from the 30s up until 1978, even though blacks made up only 25% of the population. 82% of all the garbage dumped in Houston from that period of time was dumped in black neighborhoods.
Since then, he has written 18 books ranging from climate change to food security, housing and transportation, emergency response, disasters, and energy. He has also worked with several scientists, researchers, and community folks to level the playing field to make sure all communities have equal protection.
If a community happens to be low income or community of color, it receives less protection.
Dr. Bullard says the environmental justice movement also relates to the Black Lives Matter movement and the death of Houston native George Floyd.
You wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning because of some explosion or because of the emissions from these industrial plants, and people can't breathe. And we have demonstrations and signs and protest marches that really depict this, at least 30 years ago.
He says there is more work to be done, and he is very optimistic that the Biden-Harris administration will work to fight for environmental justice. He has advice for the next generation that are already fighting to make a difference.
Need to step up, step out, and assume the leadership.
And Dr. Bullard says just this month, TSU received a $1.25 million grant from the Houston Endowment to start the Robert D. Bullard Center for Environmental and Climate Justice. Reporting from the campus of Texas Southern University, I'm Rochelle Turner, KPRC 2 News.